A sprawling, 900-page manifesto, a document bigger than most Stephen King's novels. So radical is the document that Donald Trump distanced himself from it during his campaign. Trump knew Project 2025 is more than a policy, it's a power grab, which would face opposition from the word go. In this video, we will demonstrate how Trump has implemented Project 2025 manifesto to the letter. Born in the think tanks of Washington's far-right elite, this isn't just a blueprint. It's a battle map for a second Trump presidency. Its key objectives: to overhaul the U.S. government by consolidating presidential powers, unleashing USA energy potential.
That is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
Undertaking the greatest mass deportation in USA history.
Day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history to get the criminals out.
Scrapping off the Department of Education.
We will ultimately eliminate the Federal Department of Education.
Reducing fiscal deficit by reducing federal employees.
Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring.
And plucking out leftists, labeled as woke, from the government.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion, and our country will be woke no longer.
Keep the last point in mind. Trump fought zealously for a second term in White House. He attacked his opponents brutally. Facts and decency didn't matter on the campaign battlefield.
Very stupid people. You have stupid leadership.
You shut up, man.
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
It was about winning at any cost. At one point, the price would have been his own life. Luckily, he survived the assassination. Surprisingly, a super billionaire with a super megaphone on social media felt inspired by Trump's bravery in the attempted assassination. His name, Elon Musk. With a fortune of over $200 billion at that time and the most popular social media account, Musk's endorsement of Trump tipped the scales.
I'm dark, Gothic MAGA.
Trump won the 2024 presidential election in a landslide.
That Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Like a parasite looming in the dark waiting for a host, Project 2025 found its life in Trump's second presidency. The key figures in Project 2025 include Paul Dans, former chief of staff at the Office of Personnel Management under Trump. With his co-lead Spencer Chrétien, a former special assistant to Trump, Dans has assembled an army of over 400 conservative policy experts. Their singular mission? To purge the federal bureaucracy and replace it with Trump loyalists. Redesign the executive branch to serve one man. The manifesto dictates immediate actions in the first 180 days of a Trump second term. Withdraw from globalist trade pacts is among the top agendas.
I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN human rights.
Under Project 2025, tariffs aren't just tools. They're potent weapons to wage economic warfare aimed at reshaping global trade to fit the new American nationalism. This explains Trump's second-term tariff war.
I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary.
China, the largest USA trading partner, would be slapped with tariffs to reduce its almost $300 billion trade deficit with the US. Mexico wouldn't be safe either. European Union, which Trump labels as horrible, would find itself abandoned by its former longtime ally.
The European Union is horrible. The European Union is possibly as bad as China, just smaller.
Africa's poor countries like Lesotho and Madagascar would also find themselves on Trump's tariffs chopping board.
In the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
No nation is safe. In the words of Trump, it would be a bloodbath.
It's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country.
There's no mistaking that Trump is following Project 2025 manifesto to the letter. He began with securing the southern border, followed by cracking on immigration by undertaking the largest mass deportation of illegal migrants in the history of the United States.
I will launch the largest deportation program in American history to get the criminals out.
Trump went as far as invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
President Trump has invoked a wartime law known as the Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act today,
which permits the president to target specific immigrants without a hearing based only on their country of birth or citizenship. Secondly, he withdrew from the Paris Agreement and promised to make United States energy independent by drilling more.
That is why today I will also declare a national energy emergency. We will drill, baby, drill.
The next manifesto agenda implemented by Trump is cutting the federal government spending through an executive order.
Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations.
Trump renamed United States Digital Services, USDS, to Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
Okay, that's a big one.
In it, he installed his billionaire megadonor and key supporter, Elon Musk. Musk's singular mission is to reduce government spending by $1 trillion. Musk was granted unmatched powers. He wielded these powers to fire thousands of federal government employees and replace the remaining ones with those demonstrating loyalty to Trump's regime.
Tonight, the Pentagon announcing it will eliminate the jobs of some 5,400 employees beginning next week, the latest and one of the deepest known cuts to any one federal department.
In this purge, Trump signed an executive order slashing funding to over 7 federal agencies, key among them USAID and World Health Organization.
I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
This triggered a global panic. The new reality has sunk in. In consistence with Project 2025, Trump signed an executive order recognizing only 2 sexes, male and female, as part of keeping a promise to rid the nation of what he termed as transgender insanity and banning any gender-affirming medical procedures.
And I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
Any federal employee regarded as woke or too liberal would be shown the door regardless of their rank or race.
All federal workers to return to the office, they will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job.
Key among the victims of wokeism was Pentagon's chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr. and Admiral Lisa Franchetti, Navy's top officer.
President Donald Trump has fired 3 top military leaders. General Charles Brown, who has served as a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff since October of 2023. Admiral Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to serve as chief of naval operations.
The writings were on the wall. This is a revolution.
Overnight, President Trump firing the nation's top military leadership in an unprecedented purge. Trump ousting General C.Q. Brown as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, including Lisa Franchetti, the first woman to serve as the Navy's top admiral.
In the spirit of weeding out transgender lunacy, Trump signed yet another executive order intended to bar transgender athletes from girls' and women's sports.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
The message was clear. Wokeness will not be tolerated.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. Our country will be woke no longer.
The icing in the cake would be the barrage of tariffs aimed randomly at nations. Canada would be among the nations targeted and labeled as freeloaders.
We don't need anything, so why are we losing $200 billion a year and more to protect Canada?
This would go as far as threatening it with annexation.
Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem.
Canadians knew instantly that life will be tough under Trump.
Well, this is a tragedy. It is also the new reality.
This is a very dumb thing to do.
Europe would be forced to pay more for the NATO membership or risk being abandoned by Trump. With China and Russia on the rise, this is an extremely precarious position for Europe.
Well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, no, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
The current Trump's tariff war has led to economic chaos in the global markets. The Dow has fallen to the lowest since COVID era, wiping out a staggering $2.5 trillion of value. American allies feel betrayed. They have over the years formulated policies based on the strength of the alliance with the United States. Trust has been severely eroded. Enemies of the West hegemony are watching from a distance like a hungry vulture waiting for the victim to throw her last kick. Behind all the noise, Trump has an agenda: to use tariffs to bring back manufacturing to United States. Though a noble agenda, Trump's plan smells half-baked, risking a colossal bloating upon ingestion. But both the allies and foes understand it's better to die hungry than take a bite. China has vowed to retaliate with its barrage of tariffs against the U.S. This might trigger a global trade war, leaving everyone weaker and poorer. But in a room of two fighting giants, only one will come out alive. USA understands China is now a superpower, and if not sabotaged, it will leapfrog the U.S. in a few years. Trump is willing to pay any price to derail this advancement at all costs. If this cost means sacrificing allies, it's too small a price to pay. However, one thing is clear: when two bulls fight, grass is the main victim. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like and share your comment below.